Hello everybody, Aaron Myers here of the Everyday Language Learner, and today I want to just talk a little bit about planning. I'm working on a series of videos and articles about planning, and this is the second video, and it's really about thinking about the big picture in planning, of kind of taking ourselves up above the clouds, looking down at the journey before us, thinking about what is our goal for learning this language, where am I at now, how can I get there? And that's really what planning is all about. It's about creating a system of activities, methods, and ideas that will, once implemented, help you reach your goal. And in that sense, planning is really important because I think we all want to be successful, and I think life just proves out that when we plan, we're more successful. Now, I want to step back from that a little bit and say planning doesn't need to be complicated, it doesn't need to be super in-depth, but it just needs to be there. You need to make a decision to do something and stick with it. And that's really what planning is all about. So I want to talk about this idea of the big picture of thinking about stepping above kind of the day-to-day, the week-to-week, and thinking about what do we want to do to reach our goal. And the reason we want to do this is first and foremost, a plan gives us a vision forward. And boy, when we have vision and we have understanding of purpose, we're generally a lot more effective in what we do. There's a saying that I heard once that I've always liked, and it's meant a lot to me, and it just is simple. It says, sail, don't drift. Sail, don't drift. And I think that's really the reality of what will help us be successful as language learners. If we can sail, when you sail, you're intentionally setting sail to harness the wind and move in a predetermined and chosen direction. When you drift, you're really at the mercy of your environment, of the winds, of all these other things. And so by starting with the big picture in mind, we can begin to create a plan that will help you reach your goal. So first and foremost, planning gives you vision forward and will help you then stay motivated and stay on that track. Secondly, one of the things that I want to encourage everyone to do in looking at the big picture is to break up the journey into phases or parts. A lot of times we say, I've got a year to learn the language, or I want to learn the language by, 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now. And so that's just a really long time. And if we're working as independent language learners, it oftentimes can be just turn into this kind of long trudge. I'm reminded of Frodo moving towards Mount Doom. It just seemed endless. And what we can do, though, is to break that long journey up into phases of the journey. And if it's thirds or fourths, or if it's the natural seasons, spring, summer, fall, winter, or if it's along the lines of a school schedule, whatever it is, if we can break it up into chunks so that each chunk has a beginning and an end, what it does is it creates waypoints for us on this journey. It creates more success on our journey. It creates times where we can stop and look back and reflect and evaluate, see how things are going, and then make adjustments. And then it just also provides a point of rest where we can kind of step away from what we're doing, take a mental break, and get some rest. But I think breaking it up like that is really important just for our motivation, for our encouragement, for our sustaining of the journey, for those reasons. Now, the other thing that planning does, once we've created this kind of phase-based planning where we're gonna set a goal for 3 months from now, we're gonna work to reach that goal. We're going to stop there. We're going to take a rest, do some reflection, do some review, make sure that we haven't lost anything along the way. But it really provides for us a way to create accountability for ourselves. And as independent language learners, This accountability is really an important factor in our ultimate success of mastering another language, because unlike in a classroom or a job where there's someone standing above us saying, get this done, we don't have that as independent language learners, and so we have to create it for ourselves. We have to find it for ourselves, and so there's a lot of ways to do that. Planning is one way to do that. If I say I'm going to do these 4 things for the next 3 months in order to learn the language, when I get to the end of that 3 months, I can look back and hold myself accountable to those things. Did I do them or did I not do them? And then you can begin the evaluation process. If you did them and you're making a lot of good progress, well then do them again. Keep going. If you completed them and they didn't work and you feel like, boy, either I didn't make any progress or I hated every moment of it, then you need to it gives you the opportunity to evaluate and make changes. And I think this is another really important aspect of creating a personal plan to reach your goals as a language learner that will really help you. So, big picture planning is really stepping out above, the day-to-day and saying, this is my goal down here. I want to be able to read academic papers and write in an academic way. Whatever your goal is, that would be a pretty high goal and a pretty specific goal. And the more specific you can set those goals, the more closely you can design what you do to be a plan that will help you reach those goals. So, I'd encourage you to just take out a pen and paper, a calendar, divide the next 6 months, the next year up into phases of 2 to 3 months, and then create a plan that will get you to each of those waypoints on the bigger journey of reaching your final goal, which hopefully is mastery of the language. So, that's all I have for this post. In my next post, what I'll do is I want to focus on more the day-to-day, the week-to-week. How do I plan my day and my week in order to reach those waypoints, those goals for each phase? Thank you so much for listening. If you've enjoyed this video, if it's been helpful, please feel free to share it with your friends using one of the share buttons below. And make sure that you read the post at the Everyday Language Learner. So, blessings on your language learning journey, and have a great day.